COVID pandemic, how it has impacted the, everybody's life, but definitely the most vulnerable population, like the migrant population, we have all seen that what has happened to them. So it was, it was a decision of the state government immediately to provide them with 1,000 rupees, the help for their survival. And this task was given to us in the urban local bodies, which was really difficult, given, as we all understand, that 80 to 85% of our employed people are in informal sector. We had no database available with us, and all of a sudden, when you're told, like, that you have to provide this benefit to the beneficiary, and it should reach to them, and should not be the pilferage should not be there, how we can do it with transparency and everything. So how to implement this bona fide intention of the government to actually help the needy, it was really a very difficult thing for us. So what we did was, we basically developed an application, which we call the COVID MIS. And we really had a very big challenge of, how to identify them, like who are these people who should be benefited. There was no database available to us, and it's like a very difficult thing that, we first plan the things, and then we start looking out for the beneficiaries, like who are they, where are they. So as I said, it's a huge state with 707 local bodies, no single platform available to me. Lack of money was affecting these people's life in a very bad way, as we have already seen that. So we what we did was, we developed this, first of all, a criteria, like who would be these people, those would be the needy ones, and they would need this money immediately. And now, to track them, we had to develop this application. And the same application was, it's even now I'm daily monitoring it, and daily reporting is coming to me on that application. So with this DBT, beneficiaries could utilize their money for their survival needs, and successfully, I can say that today we have been able to provide, almost 9 lakh people across the state with this help. And it was only possible because, we had the intention, we had the willpower, we developed, we utilized the technology. And the most critical point in this whole thing is, I mean, DBT is being done everywhere, but the most the crucial point in this is that we linked it with the Aadhaar. We created this authentic and credible database, so that, it's not only for this particular thing that, it started it, but now I believe that, this database can be utilized for any other scheme. For example, we formulate a scheme in the government, and then we don't know, like, where to go, who's the people, who are the people who should be benefited with this. So creating something like that, within a short span of time, and it has just been done in the last 2 to 3 months. So that is why I felt this is something that should be brought forward to the, to the general public, and they should know what has gone into it. And this whole thing, I feel, is very, very, helpful in the long run, as we go forward. And we would like to link it with the other schemes. For example, latest we had this for Prime Minister Swanidhi Yojana. So this now database came very handy to me, because, it was already created with authenticity, with their Aadhaar linked and enabled with the Aadhaar and everything. So that is something I believe that India really, needs to work upon, and particularly in UP, where we have so much of this population. And if we really need to focus on their, their better schemes and better survival, we have to have this baseline database which is authentic and credible, so that we can formulate schemes according to their needs and what they really actually need. So my presentation is all about that. I believe in the reforms and the structural reforms, and I believe that good governance makes a great nation, and that is all we are doing. And even the third presentation that my director accounts will be doing is also related to it. I have set the background, and I will take any questions if you have. Thank you so much.
Well, we understand that implementing anything in UP is quite challenging. That we agree. But when you are talking about creating a database, authentic and credible database with Aadhaar link in informal sector, uh, Narega workers are also in the informal sector, and Narega database is already available not only for UP, for the whole country, which are authentically linked to Aadhaar, and DBT is happening there anyway, right? So the database does exist. What you are trying to probably do is for the local bodies, when some beneficiary is coming, or you want to address somebody's issue, hey, you need to them. So instead of creating a new database, if you have taken from the Narega database, because Narega database covers almost 50 to 60% of households below poverty line.
Ma'am, I would like to interject
Yeah.
here. See, India has always been an agrarian economy, and we have focused on the rural side always. And this database doesn't have these people. Urban has never been strengthened, ma'am. If you go into the realities, you will see that rural side, whether it is rural health, whether it is Narega, whether it is anything, it is not available in the urban sector, and
Oh,
urban is very
sorry,
much.
sorry. Acha. So you are focusing on urban local bodies,
Exactly,
not
ma'am.
the rural.
Urban is actually, is at very much, it's a weakest link we have right now, because in India, we have always been focusing on the rural side because we believe we are
Correct,
70%.
correct. Okay, but urban local bodies also, there is another employment scheme of government, another one. They also do the same thing, and DBT is also done there for
Ma'am,
the
that is,
urban
I know you're
employment,
talking
from
about the
the employment
construction
side, for the
workers.
employment side. Yeah.
Ma'am, you're talking about the construction workers, but ma'am, these people, they, for example, street vendors, for example, people working like a palledar or something like that, they are not included
So,
anywhere, and we have no
okay,
database on that.
fine. So you are including all of these people. Uh, so that means this database must have been very helpful for your for this migrant laborer issue.
Yes, ma'am, and we actually.
How do you handle that? So in that case, it would have been very easy for you to transfer money, but the government has sanctioned all the benefits for the people. So since you already have one, what is your achievement in this sector during the COVID pandemic? All the benefits which has gone, or the Prime Minister of FM has launched those schemes. The money should go. So you have a existing database. So what is your success rate target? Achieving the target.
Ma'am, see, I don't know exactly. I mean, I have an tentative. The research, the NSSO data says that 1% or 1 to 1.5% of any population would be working into this street vending and all these stuff. So we took those kind of estimates, and we assume that we have like 10 to 15 lakhs of such people who should be there in UP, and I've been able to track almost 9 lakhs. So that is a big achievement, I would say, in that regard. And this is really helpful, because now if I have to go and formulate any scheme in urban sector, which has so much neglected overall in the past few decades, and now since urbanization is an evolving phenomenon, and everybody understand that how important urbanization is, now the focus is coming on the urban sector. So
Great,
far it was
great. So
not there.
street vendors you have taken. Construction workers are being taken care by somebody else, I believe.
Yes, that's with the
But
industry
but
department.
what about the daily workers? Those who are not construction worker, for example, an electrician comes, or a repairman, handiwork kind of. Are you targeting them also? Because
Ma'am,
they are
not
not street. They
not
don't come
in,
under these two big
not
major
in
categories.
this, but yes, I think that is like, we need to expand this database to include all these, kind of works
Domestic
that people
workers,
are
for
doing.
example, domestic workers.
Exactly. We need to involve them, so that then we would be able to capture the whole informal sector.
So this is not complete. Your database is still not complete.
It's not complete. It's like, I would say, it's like it's a beginning, that I feel that this is one of the sector which is totally being neglected, and it has not been there.
Then
So we
it's
really
a
need
very
to.
good initiative. It's a very good initiative. Then, in that case, what do you think is your estimate that this percentage of people have been covered? Because NSSO data gives you some kind of estimate percentage of this population, right? So, accordingly, what is your size of the database? How much coverage?
I would say that I am expecting 15 lakh, but I have been able to gather around 9 lakh. So I would say it's a pretty
No,
good
that is
achievement.
only for the street vendors. That is only for the street vendors. But you have to take the other categories: the
Then
domestic workers, the repairmen, the.
that's a huge number, and I don't have those figures and statistics in my hand as of now. But I believe that we
But
really.
can you find out and send it to Scotch, because that figure will actually help your case.
Yes.
Because I see everybody does DBT. Saying that DBT is not a great thing because everybody does in every sector. So that's nothing innovative. But creating a database of these people who are not in the organized sector, which you have done,
Yes.
that's a very good beginning. And if you can give some kind of a statistic which says it will reflect good better on your project. I mean, rather than DBT, probably that is your the focus or the key point which needs to be innovative issue.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
would that is what I would say.
Thank you,
So why
ma'am.
don't you send the data to the these
I will send it to Deepak. Not a
Sure,
problem.
sure. Okay, ma'am.
Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, shouldn't I ask a question?
Yeah, of course. Please, please. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, sir.
Yes, no. This is a wonderful initiative there. That you see that there are one thing that you said that to vulnerable and marginalized groups, and some of them you identified as the street vendors and others. And who all the people you consider that in the local body area in that are the vulnerable and marginalized
There
group
are
wise?
so
If you
many
are,
categories, I would say. Like one is, as I said, street vendors, then you have rickshaw pullers, you have the palledars, you have the domestic workers. I mean, these all come under those categories. And I believe that we really need to have database on these people so that we understand how our economy and like how they are contributing to our economy and what we can do for them. So I always see, as I already said, we formulate a scheme, we go and find out the
no, no,
beneficiary.
no, 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 no,
It's the other way
let's not
around.
get into that. That's it.
Yeah.
I understand all that. So do you consider scheduled caste is a vulnerable and marginalized group?
Yes, definitely.
What you have been doing for them?
Pardon?
What I have been thinking of doing for them and how we are making them inclusive of the benefit transfer program.
See, ultimately, we have categorized based on their profession, like the kind of work they are
So
doing.
this is a professional based categorization, not marginalization or vulnerability types. So you
Yes,
are very selective on the kind of people who are earning their daily wages through different vocations.
yes.
So you are not including scheduled caste in this as a
No,
community.
there will be people, I mean, of all castes, but I believe that we have
No,
taken their profession as one
no.
of the criteria to identify as marginalized communities.
Fair enough.
But I agree with you that, women, children, these, religion and caste, all these makes the,
No, religion doesn't come into the picture. Forgive me. Religion doesn't come into the picture, but vulnerable group, scheduled caste is a constitutionally, recognized vulnerable group. So you have programs for them, corporation for them, and you have also subplan for them, all these things. And similarly for the minorities, you have pockets where you identify things. So the question is that when you take one aspect that depending upon what occupation they put today, person may be doing in the street vending vendor, but tomorrow he may be going in daily wages. So these are very transitory jobs.
yeah.
So it's a very good thing you are doing, but I suggestion that include there because there will be duplication because you are covering already scheduled caste, minorities,
Or would be one
disabled.
thing that will help us because they
Let
can
me complete. Let me complete. Okay, uh, disabilities and the women programs, all these things. So if you can take the complete accountability, so you see the wonderful thing you are doing will have a larger scope and comprehensive coverage. That's what my suggestion.
Okay, thank you. I'll take that suggestion. Thank you so much.
So next,
Thank
what
you.
you have?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your presentation.